we have two students. Unfortunately, we have not able to come. So we will be one is Pradeep and another Vinayak with me. So we will be chanting 3 mantras: Ganesha Sukta, Shradhaa Sukta, and Medha Sukta. So is my voice is audible to all?
Not very clear.
Oh.
Not very clear.
Mantra will come.
I think we will. Is this better now?
श्रद्धया विन्दते हविः श्रद्धां भगस्य मूर्धनि वचसा वेदयामसि प्रियग्श्रद्धे ददतः प्रियग्श्रद्धेति दासतः प्रियं भोजेषु यज्वसु इदम् उदितं कृधि यथा देवा असुरेषु श्रद्धामुग्रेषु चक्रिरे एवं भोजेषु यज्वसु अस्माकमुदितं कृधि श्रद्धां देवा यजमानाः वायुकोपा उपासते श्रद्धागुं हृदय्यया पूत्य श्रद्धया पूयते हविः श्रद्धां प्रातर्हवामहे श्रद्धां मध्यं दिनं परि श्रद्धागुं सूर्यस्य निमृचि श्रद्धे श्रद्धापये हमाः श्रद्धा देवानधिवस्ते श्रद्धा विश्वमिदं जगत् श्रद्धां कामस्य मातरम् हविषा वर्धयामसि ॐ शान्ति ॐ मेधा देवी जुषमाणा न आगाद्विश्वाची भद्रा सुमनस्यमाना त्वया जुष्टानुदमाना दुरुक्तान् बृहद्वदेम विदधे सुवीराः त्वया जुष्टऋषिर्भवति देवि त्वया ब्रह्मा गतश्रीरुतत्वया त्वया जुष्टश्चित्रौ विन्दते वसुसानो जुषस्वद्रविणो न मेधे मेधां म इन्द्रो ददातु मेधां देवी सरस्वती मेधां मे अश्विना उभावा धत्तां पुष्करस्रजा अप्सरासु चया मेधा गन्धर्वेषु चयन्मनः दैवीं मेधा सरस्वती सा मां मेधा सुरभिर्जुषतागस्वाहा आमां मेधा सुरभिर्विश्वरूपा हिरण्यवर्णा जगती जगम्या ऊर्जस्वती पयसा पिन्वमाना सा मां मेधा सुप्रतीकाजुषन्ताम् मयि मेधां मयि प्रजां मयि यज्ञस्तेजो दधातु मयि मेधां मयि प्रजां मयीन्द्र इन्द्रियं ददातु मयि मेधां मयि प्रजां मयि सूर्यो भ्राजो दधातु ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः
सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति 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 ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದವರಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ದೈಹಿಕವಾಗಿ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಸೇರಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸಾಕ್ಷಿ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ಪರವಾಗಿ ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಣಾಮಗಳನ್ನು ನಾನು ತಿಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ 1997-98ರಲ್ಲಿ ಶ್ರೀ ಅರವಿಂದೋ ಕಪಾಲಿ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಿ ವೇದ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತಿ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ಇದು ಆರಂಭ ಆಯಿತು ಜಯನಗರ ಫೋರ್ಟ್ ಬ್ಲಾಕಲ್ಲಿ. ವೇದದಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತಹ 25,500 ಮಂತ್ರಗಳನ್ನು ಮತ್ತು ಆರೈಕ ಶ್ಲೋಕಗಳು ಅದನ್ನು ಆಂಗ್ಲ ಭಾಷೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುವ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಅದರ ಫೌಂಡರ್. 2022ರಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ದೇಶ ಇದನ್ನು ಒಂದು ಗುರುತಿಸಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಆ ಒಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಅವಾರ್ಡನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಅದೊಂದು ಮತ್ತು ಸುಮಾರು 15 ವರ್ಷಗಳ ಕಾಲ ಸತತವಾಗಿ ದಿನಕ್ಕೆ 15 ಗಂಟೆಗಳ ಕಾಲ ಅವರು ಈ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದರು. ಮತ್ತು ಇನ್ನೊಂದೇನೆಂದರೆ ವೇದಗಳು ಅವರು ಚಿಕ್ಕವರಿದ್ದಾಗ ಅನೇಕ ಪುಸ್ತಕಗಳು ಸಾಹಿತ್ಯಗಳು ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಯಾಕೆ ಇದು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು, ನಾನು ಯಾಕೆ ಒಂದು ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ಆರಂಭ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು, ಮಾಡಿ ನನ್ನ ಹಣವನ್ನೇ ತೊಡಗಿಸಿ ನಾನು ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು ಅನ್ನೋ ಎಲ್ಲ ಚಿಂತನೆಗಳಿಂದ ಆ ಭಗವತ್ಪ್ರೇರಣೆಯಿಂದ ಅವರು ಇದನ್ನು ಆರಂಭ ಮಾಡಿದರು. 2022ರಲ್ಲಿ ದೈಹಿಕವಾಗಿ ನನ್ನನ್ನು ಅವರು ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಆರಂಭ ಮಾಡಿದಂತಹ 2 ವರ್ಷ ಆದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ರವಿ ನಾಗೇಂದ್ರ ಅವರು ಅವರ ಜೊತೆ ಸೇರಿಕೊಂಡ್ರು. ಮತ್ತು ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಆರ್ ಕಶ್ಯಪ್ ಅವರು ನಿರಂತರವಾಗಿ ನಮಗೆ ತಿಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಬರೀಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನನಗೆ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ, ನೀನು ಬಂದ ಮೇಲೆ ಇದನ್ನು ನಾನು ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ಇದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಶಕ್ತಿ ಸಿಕ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರು. ಮತ್ತು ಇವತ್ತಿಗೂ ನಮಗೆ ಖೇದ ಇದೆ, ಸಾಹಿತ್ಯಗಳು ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟು ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ತಗೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ಅನೇಕರಿಗೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನೋಡಬೇಕು ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಈ ಪುಸ್ತಕಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲರ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ನಾವು EMI ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ. EMI ರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ 6 ತಿಂಗಳು 12 ತಿಂಗಳವರೆಗೂ ಅವ್ರ ಪುಸ್ತಕಗಳನ್ನು ತಗೊಳ್ಬೋದು. ಸುಮಾರು ಇದು 12,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿಗಳಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇದಕ್ಕೂ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಗಿ ನನ್ನಿಂದ ಆಗೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನೀವು ಫ್ರೀ ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂತ ಏನಾದರೂ ಒಂದ್ಸಲಿ ಕೇಳಿದರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸೂಕ್ತವಾದಂತಹ ಡೋನರ್ಸನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಹುಡುಕಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಆಸಕ್ತಿ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಸಾಹಿತ್ಯಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಕೆಲಸವಾಗಿದೆ, ಇದು ಓದಬೇಕಾದಂಥದ್ದು ಭಾಳ ಮುಖ್ಯ. ಈಗ ಒಂದು ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾವು ಅಡೋ ವೇದ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕನಕಪುರ ರಸ್ತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಏಡಮೂರು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಹಳ್ಳಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಕ್ಷಿ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಥಳ ಇದೆ. ಒಂದು ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಉದ್ದೇಶದಿಂದ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಇತ್ತೀಚೆಗೆ ಭೂಮಿ ಪೂಜೆ ಕೂಡ ಆಯಿತು. ಅದನ್ನು ಒಂದು ದಾನವನ್ನು ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಕೆಲಸ ನಡೆದಿದೆ. ಇಷ್ಟರಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗುವಂಥದ್ದು ಕೂಡ ಆರಂಭ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇದರ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಇದಂತಂದರೆ ಭಾಳ ಆಳವಾಗಿ ವೇದಗಳನ್ನು ತಿಳ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, 3-4 ವರ್ಷ ಇದ್ದು ಅದನ್ನು ಇಡೀ ಜಗತ್ತಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗುತ್ತೋ ನಾನು ಹಂಚಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು. ಏಕೆಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ಯಾವುದೇ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅದೇ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ನಿರಂತರವಾಗಿ ಹರಿತಾ ಇರಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆವಾಗ ಆ ಥರದವರಿಗೆ ಅನುಕೂಲ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ಈ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ವೇದ ಸುರಭಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕಳೆದ 15 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ಶಾಲಾ ಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಈ ವೇದ ಮಂತ್ರಗಳನ್ನು ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಹೇಳಿಕೊಡುವಂಥದ್ದು ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಈಗಾಗಲೇ 50,000 ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಅದನ್ನು ಕಲಿತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದು ಒಟ್ಟು 108 ಮಂತ್ರಗಳ ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ಪುಸ್ತಕ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಟೀಚರ್ಸು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವರು ಹೋಗಿ ಶಾಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಬರೋ ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗುತ್ತಾ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಗಮನಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ವೇದ ಕಿರಣ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಒಂದಿದೆ, ಅದು ಯಾರು ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕರೀಲಿ, ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಇಬ್ಬರು ಪುರೋಹಿತರು, ಇಬ್ಬರು ಸುಮಾರು 8-10 ವರ್ಷ ಕಲಿತಂತಹ ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಮಾಡುವಂತಹ ಪುರೋಹಿತರು ಅವರೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಮನೆಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ, ಸಂಜೆ 6ರಿಂದ 7 ವೇದ ಪಠಣ ಇವರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಯಾರು ವೇದ ಪುರೋಹಿತರು ಬರ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗೆ ಹಣ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಸರಿ ಆ ಮನೆಯವರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮಿಂದ ಆಗ್ಬೋದಾ ಅಂತ, ಅದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಇವತ್ತು ಏನು ಈ ಸ್ಥಳ ನಾವು ಈ ಒಂದು ಜಾಗ ಇದೆ ಇಸ್ರೋ ಲೇಔಟಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ನಿಮಗೆ ವಿಳಾಸ ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದು ಜಾಗ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ನಾಗೇಂದ್ರ ಮತ್ತು ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ಶೋಭಾ ಅವರ ಸ್ಥಳ. ಈ ಜಾಗದಿಂದ ಅವರು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋದರು. ಹೋದಾಗ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಭಾಳ ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿತ್ತು, ಈ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಥಳದಲ್ಲಿ ವೇದ ಮಂತ್ರ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕಳೆದ 1.5 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ಅವರು ಆಸೆ ಇತ್ತು. ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ. ಮತ್ತು ಈಗ ಅದು ಕಳೆದ 2 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ಈ ಸ್ಥಳ ನಮಗೆ ಅವರು ಅನುಕೂಲ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದೇ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಶ್ರೀ ಗಣೇಶ್ ಶರ್ಮ ಅವರು ಕೂಡ ನಮಗೆ ಇದು ನಾನು ಕಲಿಸ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಮುಂದೆ ಬಂದರು, ಅವರನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಯಾವುದೇ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಏನಂತಂದರೆ ಹಣತೆಯಿಂದ ಹಣತೆಗೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೋ ಹಾಗೆ ನಾನು ಕಲಿತದ್ದನ್ನು ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ಕಲಿಸ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುವಂಥದ್ದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಮತ್ತು ಇವತ್ತು ನಾನು ಹೇಳೋದೇನಂತಂದರೆ ಬಂದಂಥ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸು ಇವತ್ತು ನಾನು ಏನು ಕಲಿತೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಈ ಫೀಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಶಿಸ್ತನ್ನು ಮೊದಲು ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಕೊಡಲೇಬೇಕು. ಮತ್ತು ಗುರುಗಳಿಗೆ ಅಟೆಂಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಅವ್ರು ಹಾಕಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ತಿಂಗಳಿಗೆ ಒಂದ್ಸರಿ ಅದು ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ನಮ್ಮದೊಂದು ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಲೆಟರ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹೆಸರನ್ನು ಹಾಕುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಆಸಕ್ತಿ ಕೂಡ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿರುತ್ತೆ. ನೀವು ಕಲಿತು ಅಕ್ಕಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲಿಸುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಔದಾರ್ಯವನ್ನು ಪ್ರೀತಿಯನ್ನು ತೋರಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಸಾಕ್ಷಿ ಮೂಲಕವಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಸರಿ ನಾವು ವೇದ ಮಂತ್ರ ಅನೇಕ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ. ನಾನು ಏನೋ ಹೇಳುವಾಗ ತಪ್ಪಾದರೆ ಹೇಗಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇದು ಆದರೆ ಹೇಗಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಮನಸ್ಸಿಂದ ತೆಗೆಯಿರಿ. ಗುರುಗಳು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆ ಸದಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಎಷ್ಟು ಒಂದು ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಭಾಳ ಕಡಿಮೆ ನೀವು ಕಲಿಯುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಆದರೆ ಆ ಮುಂದೆ ನೀವೇ ಕೂತು ಕಲಿಯುವಂಥದ್ದು ಗಮನಿಸಿ. ಇವತ್ತಿನ ದಿವಸ ಇಷ್ಟು ನಮಗೆ ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕಲಿಯುವಂಥದ್ದನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿ. ಮತ್ತು ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗೆ ಬಂದು ನಮ್ಮದು www.vedah.com ಅಂತೇಳಿ ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್ ಇದೆ. ಅದರ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಅನೇಕ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳಾಗಿದೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಲೆಟರ್ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದರೆ, ಅನೇಕ ಗ್ರಂಥಗಳು ಬೇಕಂದರೆ ಬಂದು ವಿಸಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಆನ್ಲೈನಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಗಣೇಶರು ಕೂಡ ಹೀಗೆ ನಾವು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಟ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಅವ್ರು ಬಂದರು ಭೇಟಿ ಆದರು. ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆ ಇದ್ರು. ಇದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ನಾಗೇಂದ್ರ ಅವರು ಒಂದು ಸಾಹಿತ್ಯ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ವಿ, ಅವರು ಅದನ್ನು ನೋಡಿದ್ರು, ಬಂದರು. ಮತ್ತು ಇವರೆಲ್ಲ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗೆ ಒಂದು ಅನರ್ಘ್ಯ ರತ್ನಗಳು. ಮತ್ತು ಭಗವಂತ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಏನು ಕರುಣಿಸಬೇಕೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಸೇರಿಸ್ತಾನೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇದನ್ನು ನೋಡಿ ನಾವು ಗಮನಿಸಬೇಕು. ನನಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಂಥ ಸಮಯ ಈಗ ಮುಗಿತಾ ಇದೆ. ಮುಂದಿನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಗಣೇಶ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ನಾಗೇಂದ್ರ ಅವರು ಮುಂದಿನ ವೇದಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತಿಳಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಈ ಅವಕಾಶ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಾನು ಆಭಾರ. ಹರಿವೆ.
Thank you, Bindumadhava. Now I request Nagendra sir to give introduction about Veda mantras, and significance of understanding the Veda mantras. Why we have to understand, why we have to know, why we have to learn the mantras. So he will give a brief introduction about the Vedas. I request Nagendra sir, and the place where we are, as Bindumadhava sir told, this is his home, and now recently they have shifted, so they have given this place to use it for this kind of activities. Like there are some other activities also goes on here, but still this is one of the important thing which I think feel. Now I request sir to take.
Namaste. So welcome to this Veda Mantra Patana Inauguration session. As we have online many of the Veda aspirants who are not well versed with Kannada, I will be speaking in English. I hope that this is convenient to all. And also we got just message that Dr. R.V. Jagir, our managing trustee of SAKSHI, will not be able to make it today for some unavoidable reasons. So I will try to cover both the aspects. One is the topic on introduction to Veda, and then the importance of understanding the Vedas, both the aspects. So first we need to understand why we are here today. What made us to bring here? This message would have reached many people in the groups, in the WhatsApp, or even the email, or many things. But we are very few, probably 20 plus or somebody. Will that matter? Not really. Because it is the Veda which brings us here, and then we get connected with the Vedas. That's the speciality of it. That doesn't mean that those people cannot have it or are not eligible to do it. It is today we are open for it. The only eligibility we have is we have interest towards the Vedas, and then we are open to receive this knowledge. That's the most important aspect, that as a Veda aspirant or from our Sanatana Dharma, what we call it as a Vaidika Dharma. Vaidika Dharma is something that we followed as a Veda. Veda followers are called Vaidika. Today everything has become something like a religion, a cult, or a sect, or different things. If you look at the root by which we say Vaidika Dharma is, Vaidika is the followers of the Veda. Now coming to what is this Veda? Here in this course we will be concentrating more on Veda mantra chanting. However, there are two aspects of the Veda. One is mantra chanting, that is Saswara Veda Mantra Patana. You heard Shri Ganesh, Sharma and the group chanting mantra, where most of us are not able to understand the meaning of it. In spite of that, the Saswara Veda Mantra creates some kind of energy within us. We call that as a vibration or some good feel. As an experience we get that. The other aspect of the Veda is, this is very important to chant the mantra. Basically it was meant for preservation of the Veda mantras. The other aspect about is the understanding the meaning of the mantras. There are multiple ways of, or the dimensions of understanding the Veda mantra. What SAKSHI is propagating is the psychological meaning, the most essential for in today's world. Psychological meaning, when we say, it means something beyond our intelligence, something which is not just the rituals what we do. Like a ritual is not to undermine the importance of the rituals, like we do yajna or a homa or a puja, mostly outside. We'll have the many of the equipment and the accessories to do that. Whereas the Veda in essence is basically to get in and deep inside, and then we get connected with those higher energies. That is called as esoteric meaning. Esoteric is inner sense. So that's the meaning of that. So when Shri Bindumadhava explained about the translation of all the 4 Vedas, 25,000 mantras by Professor R.L. Kashyap, that was based on Shri Aurobindo's darshanas. It's not a translation, it's a darshana of the Veda mantra meanings. That has been, all the 25,000 mantras have been single-handedly translated by Professor R.L. Kashyap, and then right now in front in the same place we have all the literature available, all the racks of books. We see that. We are so fortunate to have that everything right in front of us. It's only that time is, we need to open ourselves and receive it. So if you take the Veda as a bird, it has 2 wings. One is Mantrapatana, that is a chanting, other is a meaning. So both are equally important, so that the bird can fly effortlessly higher and higher and enjoy the Akasha. That's the whole purpose of it. So in this Veda Mantra Patana, it will be more focusing on chanting. Then we also have a plan that once in a month we can have a session on the meanings of the mantras which we are chanting the whole month, or the learning. That will communicate to you. That will be mostly online. That will be done periodically. Even otherwise, SAKSHI conducts many of such workshops, both online and offline, and also 6-month certificate course on applied Vedic knowledge, where all the 4 Vedas and the psychological meaning will be completely covered. Shortly that will be done, probably in a month's time or so. That will also be communicated. Now coming back to the essence of the Veda. What is the approach in the Veda in contrast to what we are looking at as a knowledge today? Veda basically means, by the root word, if you see as on the Sanskrita, it comes with the root word with, which means knowledge. So to that extent everybody says and they stop. So what is this knowledge? The way we stop today thinking, the way the Rishis started from there. The scientists who at this contemporary modern world, where we stop as the highest of the knowledge, from there the Rishis actually were able to see beyond the knowledge. So that is the core which we are trying to rediscover. It's a discovery of the Vedas. It's been covered. Now we discover. This is opening up. How do we do that? Through the knowledge. That is studying the Veda, and then most importantly experiencing it. So Veda, one of the meaning is knowledge. Otherwise, it also has got other meanings like to find, to seek. That's a finding something, to seeking something. So that is what we call it as a Veda. Now we are learned, and then we have our own graduation and then post-graduation. We are well versed with our work. In spite of that, there is something within us which says that life is not just this. We just give a lame excuse that it's okay, life is like this, accept as it comes. Or somebody complains, most of them they complain, some people just accept it, some of them not bothered at all. But why is that? So this is the root from which we start about this Veda. There is something within us which is aspiring, which is seeking for something higher from the root from which we have come. So this incompleteness in this physical world, which we have been totally engrossed and then completely drowned into it, still our inner sense knows that there is something beyond these physical things. That is what making us not completely happy with what we are. So don't take it as something that I'm not happy with life. I'm not encouraging to be unhappy with the life. I'm saying that that is those who are touching that point where what I'm doing now, you may be I'm very, very successful, but in spite of that there is something which tells me that life is not just this. For a student, for a housewife, or for a professional, or even a retired person, they feel that there is something which is calling me. That's an inner self within me. Now this is where one of the easiest method to connect to my inner self is Veda. There are multiple ways. It's not mandatory that everybody should learn Veda or to chant Veda. That's not mandatory. If we enjoy doing that, it's the best way for that individual. It is not a collective thing. There has been like that whole world should chant Veda mantra. That need not be done. Even a single person chanting within self, it does all the same work because it's from the highest supreme energy, the divine. So even a single person with all the sincerity chanting a mantra is more than enough. Shri Aurobindo never encouraged this mass conversion or awareness program. That is not required. It may happen eventually during the evolution. Now when we are saying about the Veda, today we have 4 Vedas, what we call it as Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Atharva Veda or Atharvana Veda. But during the Vedic period, which is about 10,000 years old, at least documented from now, Veda is one as a knowledge. When the rishis, whom we call rishis, when they were in the deep tapas, that is beyond the physical mode, from there they were able to, like what we call it as, to get a sense as an intuition or the sixth sense. Sometimes we get a flash of idea. We don't know where it is coming from. That's one of the first steps towards the higher knowledge. What we think, analyze, reason, questioning, or towards the down, towards the physical world. This is the difference between the physical world and the higher mental world. So what this Veda knowledge is talking about is higher mental world. When the rishis were able to, in that plane, just like in the physical plane, I was using my 5 sense organs, I can sense what is this, all the objects that is physically available within the bandwidth of the light and then sound. Anything beyond that light and sound, even for the light or the colors, if it is not in that vibgaya, we are not able to ultraviolet or infrared. I am not able to perceive that. Even for sound, something 20 to 20,000 hertz, below that, if it's ultrasound or supersound, that is above that, I am not able to hear that. Physically, that's a limitation. But for other animals, it becomes very natural. They are like a bat. It can easily sense the ultrasound. Whereas humans, with their speciality in the external world, specialization and with the technology, we have made devices like ultrasound, an instrument, a probe, where we can use the probe to transmit the ultrasound waves and then bring it back into an image form. The sound becomes a picture. That is today's technology. But what is the science behind that? Today's science will not explain that. The science behind that, both sound and the image or the vision or the waveform. Today we are from the quantum theory, we are coming to the wave theory, particle theory. We are just waving outside because it is confined to the physical dimensions of it. There are non-physical dimensions which we can easily touch upon, provided our intelligence stops and then we go to something beyond the intuitive level. To do that, we can easily chant the mantras and then we are able to get connected if we have the Shradhaa about that. So each mantra will be having a rishi, a devata and a chandas. When we say a rik mantra, rik is the meter, that is chandas. So the rishi through whom the mantra was able to come out in the sound form. Like we heard that Ganana Antva Ganapatim Havamahe, that's a mantra that comes out of a rishi. Or the first mantra of the Rig Veda, Agdimide Purohitam Yagnasya Devam Rutujam Bhotaram Ratnadhatum. This is the first mantra or first Sukta of Rig Veda, first mandala. Here the rishi is Madhuchanda Vaishwamitra. Vaishwamitra's son or disciple, Madhuchanda, and then he is addressing it to the deity or the Deva, Agni, and the medium through which he is connecting is the Chandas is Gayatri. The Gayatri Chandas means it is 24 syllables or aksharas. So it is like Gayatri mantra, what is popularly called, that is called as Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yoha Prachodaya. That is Tatsaviturvarenyam 8, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi 8, Dhiyo Yoha Prachodaya 8. 8 into 3, 24. The same meter is in Agni Media Purohitam. So that is classically, if you want to put it in terms of no words into this, only sound, it is tata 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 8 8 8. This is 24. This is chandas, but this is the essence of the Veda. Of course, it's not that easy to understand or get the feel of chandas. This is possible only when we actually chant mantras. Otherwise, the approach is, if you are not very, like I am not good at music, I cannot sense my senses for the music is very primitive. Whereas compared to the deciphering text or anything to do with the meanings of the mantra, that easy route for me. That's a resistance for me is very minimal when it is taking a mantra and trying to understand the meaning, compared to when I chant the mantra and try to get the experience. That's not that easy. So I need to find, that is my swabhava of this physical body. So I am trying to go more with the Veda mantra meaning route rather than the chanting, not much. Whereas my good friend Shri Ganesh Sharma, he enjoys the chanting. With the chanting, he can go to the same level of intuitive level what I try to do it through the jnana. So for him, so the meaning says, like he says that okay, understood, and then he is not very keen for that. Of course, he knows the meanings, but he enjoys for his swabhava that comes naturally. That's why Veda is mostly personalized, it's a customized. We don't have to make it hard and fast. We need to find our own ways what we are able to do that. So why it is important to know the Rishi, Devata and Chandas is, when I am chanting a mantra like Agni Mille Purohitam, I know to whom I am actually praying this or adoring this. Why? Because each Deva is not a imagination, by itself it is the divine power. So in the psychological meaning, Agni is considered as the divine willpower, the Sankalpa Shakti, the Shakti through which, like today we are here, Sunday morning, why are we wasting time here? We need something, there is something within me, an aspiration, and then I make a will, make a wish. It's not just a wish, it's a Sankalpa, that is, I make a wish and then I act. Like when we go do any puja, we are asked to hold our hands like this and say, do the Sankalpa. In most of the temples in India it is done. What are we actually going to do when we do the Sankalpa? The Sankalpa is, I am promising myself that I will completely get involved in this activity of puja till it is completed, and then this, whatever the things I am able to experience, I will also put it into action. This aspect of my willpower, even in the physical level, if I want to clear my 10th exam or an entrance exam or doing very well in my professional life, I make a determination. This aspect of determination or the quality of determination is nothing but Agni Shakti. We call it as Kichu in Kannada or even in many of these. So like when I determine that this is what I will do it, this is not very well developed if you don't put your effort into it. Just like bodybuilding in the gym. You go to the gym and then put a particular group of muscles, so biceps or triceps or your abdomen to make a six-pack or whatever. Whichever the activity you focus upon and then try to do that, that aspect even physically develops. So here when you are going with the Agni or chanting the Agni mantra, you focus on the Agni aspect of it, that's the willpower. So my willpower will naturally increase even without knowing. A bodybuilder will not know that muscle is building. We will only see after some time. The same thing, you keep chanting Agni mantra, whether you know it or not, because the phrase of Agni Mille Purohitam is coming with that mode of Agni Shakti, the Sankalpa Shakti. Now you can continuously chant. Of course, if you can concentrate and get some meaning, basic meaning about that, you mentally also will enjoy more. The joy of two things, one is mind and then emotion and then physical joy, and then something, the ananda beyond the mind. Like we have a deep sleep and come out of it and then we say, I had a very good nap, I am very happy. Who actually had this happiness? It's not the body, it's not my emotion or the vital body, or it's not my mind, because all these are shut down. Even prana is doing very basic thing, but who actually enjoyed this deep sleep? That is the starting point of myself. Myself actually enjoyed this deep sleep. The same thing, myself will enjoy the mantra. How the enjoyment is not of like physical things, it is like you feel very good, you feel happy, you feel that everything around you is peaceful, you feel that, oh, the whole world is beautiful now. You don't complain, and then you will enjoy doing the work, and you will be more tolerant. This is how the inner ananda comes out. This is the direct application of the Veda mantras. Similarly, we have many deities or devas. Deva means Dev, the illumination, the light or the knowledge itself. So now, whichever the aspect I want to tap in, I can use that mantra, chant that mantra. Like if I want more of the love and affection part, I can just look at the Mitra, and then vastness is Varuna. If I want the mental clarity, I can chant Indra mantra. If I want more and more delight, I can chant Soma mantras. So these are the ways I can directly get connected to the Deva deity, and then there are rishis, more than 400 rishis who have already done it. I don't have to reinvent the wheel. Now I invoke that rishi of Madhuchanda or Vishwamitra or Angirasa. The moment I get engaged with that aspect of the rishi, then it will be easy for me to take the same form which the rishi was able to get during the first time it was able to come out. The rishi was the first person who was able to bring it down to the physical world. Of course, this is cyclical, it keeps on continuously going on. So now if you see, the moment I say Madhuchanda Vaishwamitra Rishi, then I get into the plane of the Rishi where he was able to get it. He becomes my Guru. Deep within, I don't have to see him. Now he will guide me. Now where to go? It is to the Agni. I don't know where it is. You just close your eyes and then what do we do? Even when you go to a temple, you just close the eyes. Why not? With all the great difficulty, we go to many of the temples and many places, and then you stand in front of the idol, and what do? Close the eyes. All those hard work of going Tirupati or Amarnath Yatra, all those things and done, ultimately you look at the idol, and then, or even Ayodhya today, and then immediately we close our palms and then close the eyes. Because my self knows that the self there and the self here are now uniting. I don't have to use my physical eyes. It has got no more role. This is the Veda. This is the delight. This is the joy. Now how do we do that? Here you can easily invoke that or pray to this Rishi and then address to that divine deity, and then through this Chandas medium as a mantra. This mantra that comes Manaha Trayati, it comes out of the mind, comes out of the heart, not the physical heart, which we call it as Hudaya Kamala. From there it is coming out. Every time you chant a mantra, it opens up new things. One is physically, it is cleansing outside. Whoever is hearing, like now I am talking, most of you would have sensed at least few times that there was a connected inside and you had a small smile on your face. What is that? It is not my speech. Some things which already your inner sense knows, and then there is a word that is coming and is touching. This union of yourself with the higher self, which is making you giving that joy. This is all the purpose we have to do. And what happens if you do that? You will be continuously connected with this higher self. So all the things what you do outside becomes only the physical aspect of that. You become perfect in what you do. But if you just concentrate on doing your outer things and then try to do a perfection, it can never happen because it is bound by some physical laws. Law, LAW, I am not talking LOSS. Law, this is also equally important as a divine, but it is limited, it is finite, and it is put in a framework. And our Sanatana Dharma says this is only an aspect to enjoy. That is, Ditincha Rasva Aditim Urushya. You enjoy this physical world, but protect or nourish the higher intellect, beyond the intellectual, the Aditi, what it is, infinite, and the divine. So this is our whole purpose, and this is a journey where we are in. So of course now with the technology it is available both online and offline also. So those who can do offline, if you are nearby, please do that. If not, online is equally good, because even I was not a good fan of doing this online session or even YouTube. I was not, thanks to, in a way, to the COVID, where we were all homebound, and then it opened a new world. Opening the Paramaya Vyoma. This online has become such a beautiful norm. Even a recorded video, if you hear, I was hearing about a video which was audio, recording 1950 by Shri A.B. Purani in US. That's about more than 70 years back. I can experience the thing what he is trying to do. That's 70 years back in online. You can imagine the value of the sound. It's not, even though the digital sound is completely distorted, it's not the actual sound at all. In fact, it is not a sound. What I am talking, what you are hearing, what you are seeing, what I am, both are not same at all. It's just becoming a digital and you are getting a nearest sound possible with the technology. Otherwise, when you speak over the phone, Professor Kashyap used to say, if he is talking the video call and make a call and the rate, what is this? This is not what you are seeing, this is not what you are hearing. Why are you in this Maya? So he was so, because in 1970s he worked on pattern recognition and artificial intelligence, which we are still in infancy today. Professor Kashyap was working on this in 1970s, where the whole world was still not yet open for this. Today also we have Kashyap algorithm. Why I am trying to say this? This is the time where the technology or the technique outside and the science of Veda itself is the actual science. All else what we are doing is a technique or technology. Today we have got confused with the applied part, the technique part of the technology as the science. No, it's only a technique, a physical aspect. There is a science behind that, and the actual science today, physical science what we are talking, is only explaining the process of the phenomena. It is not explaining the true science. The true science of the truth, the sat behind that is through the Vedas. Now if I am able to get an exposure to the Vedas, with the technique or the technology, I can bring both together and make the life beautiful. The whole purpose of what we are trying to do is bring this outer world and inner world together and we go into the highest divine. This is the whole purpose of it. So we will continue this journey together. It is not individual because each self is connected with all the self. That is the first concept of the Tantu or the web, www dot, what we are calling it as, is first mentioned in the Veda itself. Each of us are connected through that, and there is a web, World Wide Web. The world today is not this, it is an entire Srishti. So that is a connected one. With the internet we are connected, and then with the inner net we will get more connected. It's not just inter, it is inner. Now we go more and more, get connected. All these self identify with the one self, because that one self is just manifested or expressed in all our these small selves. So we are not different. Even physically also we have just the same 5 elements. Nothing can stop us. But this division is required for a focused work and then the joy of doing it. This entire thing is joy in this soma. So I am very happy for sharing this, and then I enjoy, my job is only to share more and more with myself sharing with myself. Thanks to Ganesh Sharma and then Bindumadhava and making this a beautiful arrangement. Let us have this joy of doing it, even in a professional life or whatever it is. So this will bring, easiest way for us being here is the Sanatana Dharma and the Vedas. Let us take the full advantage of that, of course with the meanings, wherever that's possible. We can have the meanings also. Even otherwise, the chanting mantra, don't put it as only physical effort. Sometimes you may not be able to articulate the way exactly, but don't worry. It is the divine who takes care, like a child. The first time I spoke, or anybody of you, did we actually make any sense? It was only blabbering, but everybody was enjoying it. It is when you are talking to the divine, you don't need the exact word. If you want to impress people, then you have to do it. I never do that. I recommend you not to impress others. You impress the divine with all your childish blabbering. Even if it is a mistake, the divine will correct you. But offer everything to the divine. So, and then we have excellent Guru, Ganesh Sharma. I have a lot of respect for him. So he corrects very, very beautifully. He takes you holding your hand like a father, like a teacher, like a mother, like a friend, like a brother. He does it. So please enjoy that. Thank you.
We have this interest, enthusiasm to learn. So we are breaking this learning in the sense, what and all it includes. We are breaking. See, for any knowledge, especially this mantra chanting, when it comes, it has some principles, chanting rules, and there is a swara and there is a lyrics or the sahitya. So everything, say many of the say foreigner or English speaking person have difficulty in chanting a word, especially the Sanskrit. And next comes the principles. See, there are few principles lying here which we hardly follow in our day-to-day life. It is not something different. Earlier we may use we were using, but because of the language which changed over this period, the sutras are gone. But still there are sutras which we will be knowing in the regular class. So there are sutras and there are svaras. So sutras will be covered in Vishnu Sahasranama and Lalita Sahasranama, and the swara which Veda mantra has, which will be learnt in the Veda mantra part. So we are not taking together in one. We are separating the script or the levels into two, and then we are learning. So it is easy for anyone of us or like us, it is easy to learn. And during the program, there are few instructions which one has to follow. Basically, one should have the Shradhaa and the complete surrenderance to the divine. Without that, no knowledge is fruitful and there is no meaning to it. Without having these two, there is no perfection, there is no point. So I request everyone to have complete Shraddha and surrenderance to the divine. So students should completely, compulsorily, these are like, though we are having a digital sessions or whatever, this is like a Gurukula system only. There are certain, what I'll be talking is the disciplines or the instructions which one student has to follow. So it will be like do's and don'ts only. It will not take much time. So one should bath and come to this class. So they should not get up and simply wash their face. They should not come. So they should take a proper bath and should wear, preferably dhoti, and ladies should wear proper Indian dress wear, not the nighties or something. This is what I meant to say this, because I have seen many ladies, just they come and they start in whatever way they wanted. But it is not the way it is required. So all has to come in a proper dressed man. Next thing is the attire, basically that I have covered. Indian attire basically. And how you sit when you come for the class, or people who will be joining the online, requested to sit in the floor with a wooden or whatever, some cloth on the floor, not on the sofa or on the bed, not suggested. If somebody is having knee pain or some issues, they can sit in the chair. So that is one thing. And online or offline anyway, we will be sitting on the floor. Chair is required, it is there. And students should have a notebook and pen before coming to the class, so that there are sutras which I told, they have to note down and they have to recall it during their practice in their work. And classes can be recorded and we will be sharing in the group, but this should not become a practice to escape the class. This should not be a because anyway recording will be coming, so let me skip this class. This should not happen. This is one of the, you should take this as a primary activity, like office, it's a primary activity. Taking the food, it's a primary need basically. Similar way, this should become such one thing actually. then only you can learn. Otherwise, if you skip in your mind, not actually. If you have that sense, then gone. Someday, not today, someday you will definitely go. So that level of dedication, surrenderance, that's what it is required. And if you do mistakes, that and all is not an issue. You can learn it, but these are the core values you should have to learn. And this is one of the instruction which my guru has given. People who are consuming non-vegetarian food, alcohol, and having smoking habit, I request to completely stop, at least till the completion of this course. So this is what my guru has suggested, and I request this to be followed. I think that is this is what I would like to tell. And SAKSHI conducts many programs. As sir told, I request all to join these programs. There are many insights which you get apart from chanting. That in detail sir has explained. Yeah, and lastly, this is a traditional way of teaching the mantras with a digital touch, and one should enter the class with devotion and discipline. This is what I request. And also please consider this as a primary activity, not a secondary. Request all to kindly prioritize this and try not to compromise this for any other reasons. So very few people gets this Bhagavad Anugraha to know, learn and understand and experience the Vedas. Let us always have the aspiration for experiencing the Veda mantras with the sense of Dhanyata Bhava towards the divine. So this is what I would like to convey. And I think few might have already knowing the mantras. So I suggest to keep those things inside, even it is Lalita Sahasranama or Vishnu Sahasranama, will be completely different. So they should not think that because in the first batch I have sensed this in few people, like I know this mantra or this stotra, so it will be easy. No, it is not. It is a completely different, because it is not the lyrics which we are learning here. It is the sutras, and there are multiple things which will not be taught in the father and mother also, who are taught you are on hearing by your own. It is the Guru Shishya Parampara which is imparted to the Shishya. So I suggest to have a completely fresh mind to enter the class. Thank you.
Yopam pushpam Veda pushpavan prajavan pashuvan bhavati chandramava apam pushpam pushpavan prajavan pashuman bhavati ya evam Veda yopamayatatam Veda ayatanavan bhavati agnirva apayatanam ayatanavan bhavati yognerayatanav Veda ayatanavan bhavati apo va agnerayatanam ayatanavan bhavati ya evam Veda yopamayatanav Veda ayatanavan bhavati vayurva apamayatanam ayatanavan bhavati yo vayorayatanav Veda ayatanavan bhavati apo vai vayorayatanam ayatanavan bhavati ya evam Veda योपामायतनौ वेद आयतनवान् भवति असौ वै तपन्नपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यो मुष्यतपत आयतनौ वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वा अमुष्यतपत आयतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनौ वेद आयतनवान् भवति चन्द्रमा वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यश्चन्द्रमस आयतनौ वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै चन्द्रमस आयतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनौ वेद आयतनवान् भवति नक्षत्राणि वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यो नक्षत्राणामायतनौ वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै नक्षत्राणामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनौ वेद आयतनवान् भवति पर्जन्यो वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यः पर्जन्यस्यायतनौ वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै पर्जन्यस्यायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योपामायतनौ वेद आयतनवान् भवति संवत्सरो वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति यः संवत्सरस्यायतनौ वेद आयतनवान् भवति आपो वै संवत्सरस्यायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति य एवं वेद योऽप्सुनामं प्रतिष्ठितां वेद प्रत्येव तिष्ठति राजाधिराजाय प्रसह्य साहिने नमो वयं वै श्रवणाय कुर्महे समे कामान् कामकामाय मह्यम् कामेश्वरो वै श्रवणो ददातु कुबेराय वै श्रवणाय महाराजाय नमः यो वेदादौ स्वरः प्रोक्तो वेदान्ते च प्रतिष्ठितः तस्य प्रकृतिहीनस्य यः परः स महेश्वरः ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ तत्सत् श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु
Thank you. So this ends our inauguration program, batch 2. As informed.